Welcome back. Narendra Modi suddenly does not want to be Prime Minister. In an unexpected statement, the Gujarat CM said that he wants to serve the people of Gujarat till the end of his term in 2017. The Congress was quick to latch on to the comment, saying that Modi is just echoing what the nation wants. Here's a report. Take a look.
In a classic case of will he, won't he, Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi has made a startling statement, disappointing his followers who are already dreaming of a Modi-led government at the centre. In a clear departure from the rhetoric he has followed ever since his elevation within the party, Modi now says he has no dreams of becoming the Prime Minister of India, adding that he wants to continue serving Gujarat till 2017.
बनवाना सपना जुए एमनु બધું બરબાદ થઈ ગયું ક્યારે बनवाना सपना જોવા ના આનું વિચાર્યું તો ખાસ बनवाना सपना ક્યારે ના કઈ કરવાના સપના જોઈએ.
This tactical change of stance comes even as the RSS is almost ready to announce the Parivar's candidate for the top job. RSS begins its 3-day core committee meet in Delhi. The meet is to focus on Modi's anointment as the prime ministerial candidate. Timing of Modi's coronation tops the meet agenda. RSS top brass is trying to persuade BJP leader, and Rajnath Singh is to implement the meet's final decision. Modi is clearly playing to his Gujarat gallery, but it is also seen as a ploy to appear humble and not lusting for power, something that Modi and the BJP have targeted the Congress leaders with time and again. By projecting himself in a humble sevak avatar, it looks like he wants the party to come to him on the issue rather than antagonizing his competition within the party by forcing his candidature.
देश का जनता तय करेंगे ना, मोदी जी तय करेंगे क्या? देश का जनता तय करेंगे और पार्टी तय करेंगे क्या करना, क्या उनका इच्छा ठीक है, हो सकता है, मगर पार्टी का इच्छा क्या है, देशवासियों का इच्छा क्या है, उसके ऊपर निर्भर है.
Many within the Saffron Party, including patriarch L.K. Advani, Sushma Swaraj and Shivraj Singh Chauhan, are opposed to the idea of serving Modi. Big brother RSS, however, is keen on someone with undisputable Hindutva credential. While the Gujarat Chief Minister flip-flops on what he wants, Modi baiters are having a field day at his expense.
I think he protests too much. There has to be some reason why this sudden pious modesty has come to the front. This is after blatantly telling the whole country about how he wants to serve Bharat Mata. Well, the dawning of wisdom comes a little late, but better late than never. But I'm very glad Mr. Modi is only echoing what the rest of the country is saying, that he shouldn't be Prime Minister.
ये तो अच्छा हुआ उन्होंने मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने देखे थे, अब समय पर उनको याद आ गया. लेकिन सपने देखना बुरा भी नहीं होता है, लेकिन सपने सच जनता करती है राजनीति में. किसी के सपने देखने से सपना सच नहीं हो जाता है. जब हिंदुस्तान की जनता ने ये सपना देख लिया है कि उनको तीसरे मोर्चे की सरकार बनानी, तो नरेंद्र मोदी कम से कम कुछ सत्य बोले.
Another theory doing the rounds is that the Vanzara letter bomb
सच नहीं हो जाता है. जब हिंदुस्तान की जनता ने ये सपना देख लिया है कि उनको तीसरे मोर्चे की सरकार बनानी, तो नरेंद्र मोदी कम से कम कुछ सत्य बोले.
Another theory doing the rounds is that the Vanzara letter bomb has made Modi take a step back. But the fact remains that the RSS, the BJP and the entire Sangh Parivar have too much riding on Modi for 2014 for them to recant their stand on the Gujarat Chief Minister. Bureau Report, NewsX.
Ladies and gentlemen, after months of projecting Narendra Modi as the man who can save India from all ills and take us to the next level as a world power, the BJP and the Sangh Parivar have been slightly taken aback by Narendra Bhai Modi himself, after implying that he was the alternative to what he says is Congress and UPA misgovernance. Narendra Modi, it seems, does not want to be Prime Minister. Now, in the interest of intelligent analysis, let's take that with a generous pinch of salt, and let's discuss why some people believe it is just a tactical shift of position and not really what he means. Joining me tonight is a fantastic panel of guests. Sonal Ben Patel, leader of the Congress, joins us from Ahmedabad. Also joining us is Dr. Manoj Jha, national spokesperson of the Rashtriya Janata Dal. He joins us as well. Dilip Cherian, image guru and founder of Perfect Relations, also joins us. He joins us from Delhi. Tuhin Sinha author and columnist, joins us from Mumbai. It's Tuhin's first time on the show. Many thanks all of you for joining us on the NewsX Debate. Let me start with Dr. Manoj Jha, if I can. Dr. Manoj Jha, now BJP has very quickly come out clarifying that he does not mean exactly that he does not want to be Prime Minister of the country. He just said that in connection, in respect of his role as Gujarat Chief Minister, because of course he's been Chief Minister for over a decade now, and he was just reassuring the people of Gujarat that look, even after I become Prime Minister, if I become Prime Minister, I will not forget you. How do you take this? Do you also think, Dr. Manoj Jha, this is just a tactical shift because he wants his party to come to him, not the other way around?
I'm a student of, basically I'm a student of Marxism, and I believe that Gramsci said once, struggle, truth, struggle. This statement of Mr. Narendra Modi is, in fact, the audience for this statement is not either you, me or the rest of the India. The audience for this statement is BJP itself. That after Banzara's letter, where he has given damaging expose about the government in Gujarat, Mr. Modi was probably afraid that the plan B of BJP, that is the other section, they might curtail his ambition. They might convert his dream into unfulfilled nightmare. And I think by making this statement today, none of us can buy that he is a renunciator like Jayaprakash Narayan. He is too powerful. In fact, if Macbeth's entire Shakespearean power hungriness is ever personified in contemporary India, it is Mr. Narendra Modi. What I am worried about, that Mr. Banzara's letter has unsettled many things for Mr. Modi as also within BJP. Please understand that this person has only used it for tactical reasons. His audience is BJP, that make sure that you anoint me as PM designate. Don't go by these letters. Don't allow anything further on this.
Okay.
And I think, in fact, BJP is more unsettled today than the rest of the India.
Okay, Dr. Jha, I slightly disagree with you, and I'll tell you why, but let me go to Dilip Cherian right now. Dilip Cherian, Mr. Manoj Jha says that the audience really is the BJP itself. There is of course internal strife still within the party. There is internal dissent on the fact that Modi most probably will be announced or anointed as the prime ministerial candidate very soon. The RSS is already meeting on that. My point is, sir, why I slightly differ with Dr. Jha when he says it's because of the Banzara controversy. I think the BJP, the Parivar, the RSS has too much riding on Modi for 2014 and the future for them to take a letter by Banzara that seriously. Do you think it's the whole humble sevak approach that, look, I only want to serve, I don't have any lust for power? Do you think that humble kar sevak approach is only to quell the dissent within the party?
I don't think that Modi is worried about dissent within the party. That is not his anxiety at the moment. His anxiety is the NDA. The creation and formation of the NDA, if the BJP does not get an absolute majority on its own, which looks unlikely, requires that he play this humble card. So the message is less to the RSS, less to the BJP rank and file, because as far as they are concerned, the BJP is not, as being projected by everybody, a house divided. It is divided only among the top leaders, the top 10 leaders, or maybe top 12 leaders. But beyond 12 to 2 million, whatever the number of workers there are in the BJP, there is no dissension. It is Modi all the way. Modi chooses his own timing, and in image terms, in image technology terms, Modi is doing a tactical slowdown, because he knows that he also needs to make sure that partners get carried along and partners get created. This is the time when he needs to make sure that the party has a tactical position where partners can be wooed, partners can be talked to in the initial phase.
But Dilip,
after
you also
this,
think
it depends on the number of seats.
But Dilip, what is your take on the theory that the Banzara letter bomb, people are calling it, has shaken a lot of foundations within the BJP and the Modi camp? Do you think the letter is affecting Modi and his camp that much? Because I seem to think Banzara's letter is not going to stop Modi's ambition.
you know, within the BJP at the moment, the anxiety that seems to have expressed itself, and there have been a few reports about it, is that the Modi camp is trying to figure out whether this Banzara attack has happened externally or internally. There's no doubt that it has an impact, but its impact is obviously blown out of proportion in terms of what the Modi cavalcade has to do. Modi doesn't have to worry about that. Modi needs to make sure that his lawyers are in place and he gets that technique going. But as far as communications is concerned, as far as his party cadres are concerned, this makes no difference of whatsoever to them. Yes, he needs to figure out whether this is an internal sabotage of some kind, and that scrutiny is going on, because within the BJP there is a certain element of doubt as to whether this came not so much triggered by forces external to the BJP, but also within the BJP.
Point taken.
That's an issue.
Point taken. Before I get in Tuhin Sinha, I want to go quickly across to Sonal Ben Patel, who's joined us from Gujarat right now. Sonal Ben, the Congress was quick to latch on to this statement, even though the BJP clarified. Venkaiah Naidu came out and spoke to the media. He said, Mr. Modi will not decide. The nation will decide, the voters will decide whether or not they want Modi as the Prime Minister. So it's not really Modi's call, it's the party's call. But the Congress was quick to latch on. We saw Renuka Chaudhary's comment full of satire, full of sarcasm, saying that he's just reflecting what the nation wants. Do you think that this statement by Modi that he has no ambition to become the Prime Minister of the country needs to be taken with a pinch of salt?
See, we people in Gujarat call him Feku. Without no reason. I mean, we always understand that he is a liar, and then now people of India also slowly started realizing this. And today in this program with students in Teachers' Day, he was talking to students, and all of a sudden he has taken a U-turn, and it is not for the first time that he has said so. He has been saying this, but today's context was a little different because of Banzara's letter. And I think he has no other alternative right now, and he is trying to, I think, save his face, and that is why he has made this kind of statements.
Right. Okay, Sonal Ben.
That he's otherwise look at Goa and then his beatings with students in Delhi.
Right, right. Okay, Sonal Ben, you have a point.
Yes.
The point I want to take across to Tuhin Sinha. Tuhin Sinha, there is this. Yes, yes, Sonal Ben, I take your point. I want to go to Tuhin Sinha right now. Tuhin Sinha, Sonal Ben has a point right now. When he addressed students in Hyderabad, when he addressed students in Ferguson College in Pune, the theme of his speech, the tone of his speech, and indeed the words of his speech were implying something completely different. They were implying that he is ready, he wants to be Prime Minister, he wants to change the direction the country is going in, he wants to be in charge. Why this sudden volte-face right now? Why do you think Modi said what he said?
See, there are two sentences which have triggered this debate. The first is, my priority is to serve Gujarat till 2017. You know, with the mandate that he received last year, that's a very logical statement. He never said he does not want to become the Prime Minister. He says, my priority is to serve the state till 2017. I have travelled with Mr. Modi to an animal husbandry camp in May end this year in Dahore. And I've seen his commitment towards his constituency firsthand. For a Chief Minister who has served his state for 12 years, to have that kind of commitment, to have that kind of passion, is quite extraordinary. So I think it's a fair statement which needs to be taken in the right light and not blown out of proportion.
Okay, but
the other thing, the other sentence was, I have never aspired to become anything. Let me just complete this. The other sentence was, I've never aspired to become anything, which is again something which he's always said. You know, he never aspired to become the Chief Minister, but when he became the Chief Minister, he gave it his all, and that's what he's going to do when he becomes the Prime Minister. In fact, look at the irony of the situation. Here, you have one of India's best performing Chief Ministers, who's always been very candid about his views, telling the students that, look, I want to focus on Gujarat right now. And on the other hand, you have a Prime Minister, a non-performing Prime Minister, who exploits the weapons of silence and concealment to prolong his stay as Prime Minister.
Okay, Tuhin, I have only one point before I go to Dr. Manoj Jha. You say that...
come in here?
Yeah, Dr. Jha, I'm coming to you in just a bit. Tuhin, just a slight query from you right now, Tuhin. You said that he also said in this speech today to the students, he said that I have no ambition to become the Prime Minister. Now, this is completely in contrast to what we've been hearing. What we've been hearing from Mr. Modi, from the BJP, from even the RSS who's backing him for the prime ministerial candidateship, this is in complete contrast to what the rhetoric we've been hearing for the past 6 to 7 months, which is simple, which is that Modi is the answer to all the ills that ail India. Suddenly he doesn't want the job. I mean, don't you think that's a U-turn?
I'll just correct you slightly. He said, I never had any ambition to become anything, which is something which, if you look at his speeches in the last 1 year, which is something he's repeatedly told the students, don't aspire to become anything. You should aspire to do the things you believe in, which is what I've always done. Now, coming to the larger issue, coming to the suggestion that he's done it under pressure from, forces which are not in favor of him being nominated as the PM candidate, let me just tell you this, that a reluctant, humble prime ministerial candidate is always better accepted in India than an over-aggressive one. So even otherwise, I think the sentence today needs to be appreciated and welcomed. And if Mr. Modi is mellowing down, I think it's great news.
Okay, so you're saying if a humble and reluctant prime ministerial candidate has more acceptability, Modi has realized this. So, and that only exposes how much he wants to be prime minister. Tuhin, I'll come to you in just a bit. Dr. Manoja, you had a point. Go ahead.
Athar, I just say that what Tuhin is saying, that it is, I mean, in fact, I find it is too late, the kind of humility. Humility is not his hallmark. Abrasive arrogance is the hallmark of Mr. Narendra Modi. And I wish Tuhin had travelled with him to Juhupura, to tribal hamlets and the Muslim ghettos. Then the story would have been entirely different for Mr. Tuhin. Now, the second thing what Mr. Cherian said, and I agree with the broader framework of Mr. Cherian, but what intrigues me, that please remember that since 1952, as a student of political science, I can tell you that this election is likely to be an election about two versions of India. Whether Mr. Modi is anointed as PM designate or not, the very fact that today in 2013 we are anticipating an election which are essentially about what constitutes the very idea of India. And here I feel that today you must, apart from Banjara's letter, Mr. Manohar Parrikar today has said that India is essentially culturally Hindu, and I have a serious doubt that these BJP personnel leaders, they do not understand Hinduism and they do not understand culture. And the second point which I would like to make, 6 months back a noted journalist wrote that the kind of politics which Mr. Modi pursues, that before he attempts to destroy the institutional framework of India, he'll destroy the very BJP itself. Today none of us can remember his contemporaries and his erstwhiles in Gujarat BJP. Okay. That is what is the politics of Mr. Modi.
Okay. I see what you're getting at.
And it should not have any space.
I see what you're getting at, Dr. Jha. Dilip Cherian, come in here and do you agree first of all with Tuhin Sinha when he says that look, a better prime ministerial candidate is the one who seems reluctant, who seems humble as well, and Modi has seemed to realize this. And do you think it's just a ploy? Tuhin says that the statement has been taken out of context, but don't you think that if Modi is trying to mellow down, has mellowed down, and if Tuhin also says that a better PM candidate is the one who seems humble and reluctant, don't you think that really exposes how much? Tuhin says that the statement has been taken out of context, but don't you think that if Modi is trying to mellow down, has mellowed down, and if Tuhin also says that a better PM candidate is the one who seems humble and reluctant, don't you think that really exposes how much Modi really wants to be Prime Minister?
There's no doubt that what Tuhin said about humility and this nation's kind of odd phase of being awed by humility is still on. After all, we already have a Prime Minister who doesn't have a voice. So that's a good thing. If you think that's a good thing, maybe Mr. Modi is emphasizing that he'll have more of that good thing. But that's not the real point. The real point is that Mr. Modi is keen on being Prime Minister. But Narendra Bhai is clever enough to know that in 2014 he cannot be Prime Minister merely with aggression unless he gets 220 plus seats. If at the moment that looks a little difficult or daunting, then the right technique is to make sure that you prime up your partners so that they can form a government which Mr. Modi can then lead at an appropriate time. Mr. Modi's target is not 2014. It is to be Prime Minister of India.
Right.
He doesn't care when that happens. It could happen in 2015 and that could be just as good for him. So as far as he's concerned, he has his eye on the big goal, but he knows that there are intermediate steps that need to be taken, and I think that as a smart tactician in terms of image, he's creating two images, one of a reluctant leader, two of an extremely popular leader where public pressure is what makes him reluctantly mount the throne, but he's also ensuring that others who are necessary to help him hoist himself onto that throne are not thwarted at this stage by his aggression.
But Dilip,
he realizes that he's pushed fairly far ahead.
Dilip, don't you think, I mean, the RSS meet is already on. The RSS, the Parivar have made it really clear that they would rather have a prime ministerial candidate with proven Hindutva credentials. Right now, I think Modi, of course, is the front runner and the RSS is really keen on projecting him as the prime minister. Now, that meet will take 3 more days. But another question to you, Dilip, is it's not just Vanzara. I mean, there are reports, I mean, NewsX is talking to people and we understand that 2 more cops who are arrested in the fake encounter cases, Raj Pandian, who is supposed to be very close to Amit Shah, and Abhay Chudasama, could also perhaps give their resignation soon. I mean, this is what sources are telling us. Don't you think that these cops coming together and coming right now, coming forward, I mean, these people, these hero cops, once upon a time they were called as hero cops close to the Modi administration. If more people like Chudasama and Raj Pandian come forward, now don't you think that perhaps can dent Modi's chances of perhaps leading the country or even becoming prime ministerial candidate for that matter?
You started by asking me about the RSS meet.
Yeah.
Let me say it's a bit like being class prefect and wanting to be head boy. So at the moment, Mr. Modi recognizes that the Vanzara letter and all of that that's going around it, plus the letters that you're talking about, could affect his position as class prefect. He wants to be class prefect and he wants to make sure that he has control of that class. He recognizes that stage 2 is when he wants to be head boy of the school, which is Prime Minister of India. So if he wants to do that, he recognizes that he needs tactical support from others. So he needs to take a backward step just now to tackle the Vanzara effect and the results of that bombshell, and he's going to do that. But he also recognizes that he's gone so far ahead in his march towards prime ministership that there seems to be a problem within the group that needs to take him forward. That group is not part of his own class, which is the RSS, the ABVP, the BJP, all of that. Those are only part of his supporting chorus. But he needs other classes and other groups to support him.
Okay.
And that's his play also.
Okay, Sonalben Patel has rejoined us right now. Sonalben Patel, Narendra Modi and of course his colleagues.
Quickly, can I come in here?
Yeah, Dr. Jha, I'll come to you in just a bit. I have to go to Sonalben Patel right now. Sonalben Patel, now Narendra Modi says that he is the humble sevak, that he wants to serve the Gujarati people, he wants to serve the state of Gujarat. Now, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Dilip Cherian. It's not just Vanzara, it's also 2 more cops who were arrested in the fake encounter cases, Abhay Chudasama as well as Raj Pandian. Both of them were supposed to be very close to Amit Shah and Narendra Modi. Now, they also, we believe, can come out soon saying that they weren't protected, and of course, perhaps, another can of worms can be opened. Do you think that's a possibility? And if that happens, will the Congress in Gujarat ask for a harsher inquiry and a deeper inquiry, and will you attack Mr. Modi on that?
Actually, there are many officers and they feel betrayed by his behavior. They have said that they have not protected him, and not only police officers but his own workers. Look at Maya Kodlani's case also, and there are many people who are in jail, many young boys also. So that picture is very clear. Now the thing is that we don't know when they will come out, and the follow-on.
All right.
Congress is concerned, we are always saying there is conspiracy behind it and he is the culprit. So this is not a new for us. I am surprised.
Okay, Sonalben, I take your point. I take your point. Tuhin Sinha, respond to this really quickly. It's not just Vanzara, there are 2 more cops or perhaps even more, Tuhin, that can come forward, and that could perhaps give the damning evidence that Modi baiters are looking for. What happens in the case if, just like Vanzara, Churasama and Pandian and others who are in jail, and they claim they haven't been protected enough by Mr. Modi and Amit Shah. Do you think that could perhaps damage the case for Mr. Modi?
Well, that won't damage the case for sure, because I'm sure BJP has taken the calculation of a possible danger, the potential damage happening in this manner. But having said that, Mr. Banjara and all the other police officers who are languishing in jail are accused, and how seriously do you take an accused who has done an about turn after 6 years? I don't think that's going to damage Mr. Modi's chances of being nominated the PM candidate. And also, when you talk about these encounters, coming to the point of encounters, you know, there are 200 plus encounters which happened in Uttar Pradesh in the same period. So how much do you blame the Home Minister of Uttar Pradesh or the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh for every encounter that took place? I don't think that's going to damage Mr. Modi's chances in the long run.
What about Tuhin? What about the internal dissent that some people say Mr. Modi's newfound humble Sevak avatar is basically designed as a ploy to quell internal dissent? Because like Dilip Charian just said, there are about 10 to 12 people who let's say are not that happy about Mr. Modi being elevated to such a status within the party. Do you think this is a ploy to make the party come to him rather than the other way around? Because he's also applying what the Congress party has applied, the reluctant leader.
So I think again too much is being read into it, because if you look at it, the two answers which he gave were to specific questions asked by a student. The question was, are you going to become the Prime Minister soon? And that's what I said, that right now my priority is to serve Gujarat till 2017. I think the statements are just being blown out of proportion. It's nothing like that, and I'm sure it's the BJP cadres, the BJP leaders, the media knows who BJP's candidate for Prime Minister's post is going to be. It's only a matter of time. And personally, if you ask me, the timing is really inconsequential.
Okay.
Because like I just said, if you go by the image, yeah.
Okay. Tuhin, we're short of time right now. I have to give the last word to Dr. Manoj Jha. Dr. Manoj Jha, last words please. Not enough time on the show, I'm sorry. But last words.
Yeah. No, I'll just say a kind of very small observation what Tuhin said. 200 encounters in UP, but the police officers were not engaged in in creating a halo around a chief minister. That is what Mr. Banjara has said. And please remember that Mr. Banjara has made a very devastating comment that Mr. Modi in his march to Delhi should not forget the debt he owed. Please understand that a police officer writing about the debts within courts, that explicitly mentions that the kind of quid pro quo was there. And that is why I am happy today that if he withdraws from this, at least India is saved from the kind of devastation and destruction what we have seen.
Okay, Dr. Jha, I'll have to stop you there.
That's all.
I must thank all my guests.
I think students of politics should stop obsessing about one individual and focus on the revival of their own parties. That's my.
Okay, Tuhin, I have to stop you there. Dr. Jha, many thanks. Manoj Jha for joining us. Tuhin Sinha, Dilip Charian, fantastic to have you on the show.
That's right-wing demagoguery.
Right.
That's right-wing demagoguery.
Dr. Jha, unfortunately, I have to conclude. I also must thank Sonal Ben Patel. I think we all agree that there is only one prime ministerial candidate in the BJP right now who's leading the pack, and he is definitely not going to take a back seat. If he says that he doesn't want to be prime minister, we all must take that with a pinch of salt. That's the time we have for the NewsX debate. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Aftar Khan. Good night.